Welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. I was online going through recipes and I saw one that kind of caught my eye, and I want to do it, but I want to put my own twist on this recipe. I did post the recipe on my Facebook page. Can't remember what site I was actually looking at, but I did post it. So if you want to see it, you can see it on my Facebook page versus what I'm going to do, because I think my version of this recipe would be just a more heartier of a soup. Now we're moving from autumn into winter, and it's now that you need something to coat your body to keep you warm on the inside. So I'm going to make for you today my version of chicken noodle soup. Let's get started with the way I'm going to do this. I know that there's a lot of ways that you can do chicken noodle soup, and I do it quite a few ways. But when I saw this recipe, I felt like if this was a creamier version, it would be a much better tasting soup. So let's get started. You're going to need parsley, thyme. I'm using minced garlic, but you can use granulated garlic, salt, butter, carrots, celery, onion. You're going to need some cornstarch. And if you've never tried this product, this is one I think that you truly should have in your seasoned cabinets, wherever you keep it. And this is chicken soup base. That's exactly what it is. It's a little bit more dominant in flavor than your bouillon cubes, and it's just so much tastier. So I use this quite a bit. And this is sold, it's sold at Walmart, but I've also gotten it online too, and I think it's a little bit cheaper online. You will also need some noodles. I'm choosing to use fettucine noodles because I think that this is a hearty noodle for the type of soup that I'm making today. And of course you're going to need the chicken. Now I've chose to use chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast. You can use whatever it is that you want. But I think when it comes to making soups, you get a lot more flavor from your chicken thighs because they have a lot of moisture on the inside of them. And I think that this is the perfect choice. Now, I've gotten these. They have the skin on. Reason why I got the skin on is because it's cheaper that way. If you have them deboned and you have them deskinned, it's going to cost you more money because they're doing the legwork and they want to be paid for it. But what happens is this is something that you can do yourself. The chicken's going to be cooked until it almost falls off the bone. So I'm going to end up just shredding the rest of it, and you can take the skin off. So if this is something that you don't know, I'm going to show you how to do that with one or two pieces right now. Here is a chicken thigh. Okay? Don't have to worry about the skin on that side. All you have to do is lift it up, pull the skin. That's the end of it. Just lift it up. That skin comes right off. You can remove any fat that you want. And then you can take out this bone. If you wait until after this chicken is cooked, that bone is going to provide flavor as well as this piece of chicken for your chicken soup. Now, I'm not going to move a lot of this fat, but if you have a piece like this that's just hanging and you want to remove it, go ahead and remove it with your knife. Okay? See, just go ahead and take that off. Okay? The rest of it you can just go ahead and leave on. So why should I pay an extra 20 to 22 cents per pound for this chicken when this is something that you can just do yourself? I'll do one more piece. You don't have to worry about the fat on that side. You just worry about the skin or the skin on that side. Just worry about the skin on this side. So you just go ahead. And it's so easy to get off. And you just go ahead and pull it off. Now, if you need your knife, you can go ahead and use your knife, but you really don't need it. And then any kind of little extra fat like this, that's just going to give you substance to your soup. So you can leave it on or take it off. I went ahead and stripped that side. I will not strip all of the fat off of the chicken. I'm going to leave some because that helps for a heartier soup. So Now I'm going to go away and cut up my vegetables. I'm going to get all of the skin off of my chicken, and the rest of it is just a slight chicken walk, so to speak, because we can put it in the pot and go ahead and boil it. So next time you see me, I'll be at the stove. Be right back. Okay, now I'm at the stove and I just started this to boil. So I'm going to go ahead and add my onions. I'm going to allow this to cook for about 30 minutes before I do anything else to it. I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of this minced garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and add about 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, now I'm going to allow this to cook for 30 minutes before I do anything else. And I'm going to tilt my pot top, and I'll bring you back in 30 minutes. Okay, now I'm at the stove, and I've turned my pot down on low. So I'm taking out the chicken thighs so I can go ahead and debone them. Okay, so once I get them all out, I just have a few pieces of chicken in there, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave that chicken in there. I'm going to go ahead and add, I have 2 cups of celery and 2 cups of carrots. I'm going to go ahead and add that into the pot. It's at this point I'm going to put 1/2 stick of butter. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the chicken soup base. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of the thyme. Now I'm going to stir this, and while I'm deboning this chicken, that can go ahead and cook. I'm going to also add to this, that's 4 cups of water. Now I'm going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. Oh, something I want to tell you. I let the chicken cook, instead of cooking 1/2 hour, I let it cook for 1 full hour because it wasn't done after 1/2 hour. So I just let it cook a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and debone my chicken, and I'm going to cover this pot and allow those vegetables to cook. I do have the stove down on low, and I'll bring you back once I get the chicken all deboned, and we'll go into the final stages of this. Now, to debone the chicken, all you need to do is to take 2 forks, turn it backwards, and pull the chicken apart. That's all you need to do. Or if your chicken is as soft as mine, see how it is? Then all you need to do is just scrape it down with whatever utensil you're using. So I'll be right back. I'm back. And it's at this point that you want to go ahead and put in whatever noodles you're going to be using. As I've stated, I'm going to be using fettuccine, so I'm going to break them twice. So I'm going to break them, put those in, and I'm going to break again and put these in. And I think that 1 box should be enough. This is a 1-pound box. Now, it only takes about 12 minutes for these to cook. Okay, now I'm back, and everything is really ready. I have not put the chicken back in because I wanted to show you this. Okay, look at the noodles. See, this is a thicker noodle, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, look at the broth. See, the broth is still kind of watery. It tastes very good. I mean, very good. But the broth is still watery, and I wanted more of a heartier broth. So what I'm going to do at this point, and if you do this, you're going to have to add a little bit more seasonings. But because I don't have enough water down in my pot, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 4 more cups of water. Now, it's at this point that I'm going to go ahead and put in maybe about 2 tablespoons of the parsley. And then I'm going to go ahead, even though I haven't put the chicken in, because once I put the chicken in, this is going to all be too thick, probably for me to stir real good at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead at this point and start to add my cornstarch. Now remember what I told you. This is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I have it into a cup of water. Now it does not take cornstarch long before it starts to thicken up. Roughly about a minute, and then it's going to start to thicken up. I'm going to add, so what I added was like a little bit more than a half of that cup full that I had, and I'm going to let this come back up to temperature, and then you're going to see it thicken up. Now at this point I can go ahead and put in my chicken, and I've shredded up my chicken. And the reason why I can go ahead and put that in, because even if I can't stir it, because of the thickness of everything that I have in here, my vegetables, which is my celery and my carrots, along with my noodles, even though I can't stir it as much as I could if I didn't have that in, everything is in. Now I'm going to let this cook maybe 5 minutes, and I'm going to come back. I'll pour the rest of this in, and I'm going to come back and dish you up a bowl, and I'll also show you, because at that point it should be a little bit more creamier. And what I wanted is I wanted my broth to be creamy, and the reason why I wanted my broth to be creamy is because I wanted a thicker, heartier soup. So I'll let this go for about another 5 minutes. I'll bring you right back and dish you up a bowl. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now look at the broth on it. That was what I wanted. Okay, you need a broth. When you got weather like this outside, you want something that's going to stick to your ribs. This is very good. I mean, very good. I have tasted it. It's full of the noodles. It's full of the chicken. You got the carrots as well as the celery in it. And the broth is real creamy. Okay, let me cut the stove off. There you have it. Chris is making chicken noodle soup. As I told you, this is a remix recipe from a recipe that I found while just glancing at recipes. But I knew that this could be a heartier soup. So I think that if you try it this way, you are truly going to enjoy it. And I'm telling you, this soup, when it comes to all of the cans of soups out there, one in particular, it has nothing on a homemade soup. And as always, thank you for watching Chris Cook for You Too. Book sales are going great. Really do enjoy and appreciate all that you're doing. Bye.